Good afternoon, dear students and colleagues. Welcome to our online lessons. Today I will be working with you. I am Lyudmila Alibekova. I live and work in Astana. I work in Nazarbayev Intellectual School for Physics and Mathematics. Please have a look at these pictures. So my first question is, what do they all have in common? Speak to your partners. I hope you have guessed that all these pictures are devoted to traveling. And while traveling, people visit different interesting places. They visit different picture galleries, museums, interesting sightseeings. So, the topic of our lesson today is travel and art. What is art? You may discuss this question together with your partners. Please do it in pairs. You need to remember the definition to the word art, or if you don't know, try to explain it by your own words. Dear students, let us see. You can explain this to your teacher. And now please listen to me. Art is something that people create which has a value because it is beautiful or expressing certain ideas. Art is something that people create and which is valuable. So, the topic of our today's lesson is travel and art. Our learning objectives are: you will organize and present information clearly to others, to your partners, to your teacher. Guys, you need to use your imagination to express your thoughts, ideas, experiences, and feelings, which you may had when you were traveling. You will read specific information and detail in extended text on a wide range of familiar and unfamiliar general and curricular topics. You will also explain and justify own and others' point of view on a range of familiar and unfamiliar general and cultural topics. So, we are going to speak about art. Please have a look at this slide and read the questions. Now, dear students, I would like you to work in groups of 3. You need to answer these questions. The first one: what inspires people to travel? Do they just want to have fun while traveling? Do they also learn something when they travel? Of course, we can't go everywhere. So, how do we choose where to go? You have some time to discuss it in groups of 3. Good luck. Listen to each other and then find your own answer for these questions. I mean the answer from the group. Good luck to you. So, let us see what inspires people to travel. In my opinion, people want to see unknown countries, or they just want to visit famous places, or they want to visit famous galleries and museums. Do people just want to have fun? Maybe, because traveling is very funny and it is enjoyable and it may be interesting. Do they also learn something? Of course they do. When people come to any foreign country, they go to different places. They watch monuments, they visit the museums, they go to the picture galleries, to the cinemas. Of course, we can't go everywhere, right? So how do we choose where to go? I think it depends on your own interest. If you want, for example, to study Greek history, then you should go to Greece. If you want to study, for example, English history, you need to go to England. So you choose the route according to your interest. Do you have the same? If it is so, that's good. And we go further. Many people come to different countries. So some of them choose their special routes to visit very famous galleries. Can you have a look at these pictures, very famous paintings, and guess where these works are now kept? I would like you at first to work individually. Then, in some time, please turn to your partner and compare your answers. Good luck to you. Okay, let's start our traveling. Have a look at the first painting. Do you recognize it? A very famous person in Kazakhstan. Not only in our country, his name is not known all over the world. What country should you go to if you want to see and enjoy and admire this fabulous portrait? You're quite right. You need to go to Kazakhstan, to our homeland. This portrait is here. Can you remember the painter? We will speak about painters a little bit later. Have a look at this painting. Where is it now? You're quite right. It is in Russia. A very famous painting, Three Nights. It is in Russia now. And if you want to see this unusual painting, which is number 4, you need to go to Spain. This painting has a strange view, right? It is a woman with a flower. It was painted by Pablo Picasso. And painting number 3. A lot of people go to Paris to see the Mona Lisa. Yes, the Mona Lisa is in Paris. It is kept in the Grand Louvre. Let's go to France all together. Before we start our journey to France, let us see where these paintings are kept, in what museums. The first painting. Again, my dear students, you need to work individually first, then check your answers with your partners. I give you some time to do this task. Well, in this slide you can see very famous galleries. The Tretyakov Gallery, which is in Russia, the State Art Museum after Abulkhan Kosteyev, which is in Almaty, in our country, the Hermitage, which is in St. Petersburg, Russia, and this one is situated in Paris, in France. And you see three very famous paintings. Match the painting and the art museum where they are now. So let us take the first painting. I think you know that it is in the State Art Museum after Abulkhan Kosteyev in Almaty. What about this very famous painting? It's Peter the Great. You're quite right. It is situated in St. Petersburg, which is in Russia. And what about the Mona Lisa? This painting is in the Grand Louvre. It is in Paris. I think you know. And now we are going to travel to Paris. You're going to read the text about the Grand Louvre. You will have our reading objective if you can give 80% correct answers to show your general understanding of specific information in the reading material. So you are allowed to make only 2 mistakes. So we are going to start our travel to the Grand Louvre, which is in France. Dear students, you have some time to read the text. While reading, you will find that all parts are mixed. While reading, please put the parts into logical order. Okay, my dear students, your time is up. Let us check your work. Have you checked it together with your partners? So the first part of the text is what? Part 3, right? The Grand Louvre is one of the world's largest museums, the most visited art museum in the world, and a historic monument. You are quite right. This is the first one. This is the second. The museum is housed in the Louvre Palace, which began as a fortress built in the late 12th century under Philip II. Number 3. The Grand Louvre contains more than 380,000 objects and displays 35,000 works of art, which more than 60,000 square meters dedicated to the permanent collection. The next. Number 4. Among many famous arts on permanent display at the museum is the Mona Lisa. And the last one, number 5. Being in Paris, try to visit this remarkable museum. So now let us see if we are right. Look, Grand Louvre is one of the world's largest museums. You're quite right. This is the first part. The museum is housed in the Louvre Palace. This is the second. We are right again. Thank you. The Grand Louvre contains more than 3,800 objects. Among many arts on permanent display at the museum is the Mona Lisa, the best known picture in the world. And the last one, being in Paris, try to visit this remarkable museum. If you have made no mistakes, it's perfect. Well done. If you made one mistake, you achieved your reading goal, but we will go further. Before we start doing the second task, I would like you to read this text again. You have only 30 seconds to read it because you will need this text while doing the second exercise. Now, my dear students, you can see 5 questions. Read them and decide which is false and which is true. Work in pairs, please. Okay, Let's compare our answers. There are many tourists visiting the Grand Louvre, according to the text. So the answer is true. You're quite right. A lot of people from all over the world come to Paris to see and to visit this place. The Grand Louvre is a fortress. So what is the answer? It is not a fortress now, it's a museum. The museum is situated in the ancient castle. False. The majority of displayed arts were only the royal property. Of course it is false. Some of them belonged to the church. The Mona Lisa is shown in the Grand Louvre permanently. So your answer is true. Anytime when you come to Paris, you may see it. And now, my dear students, let us watch a video. Well, my dear students, how do you like our visit to the museum? And my question to you is, why the lady has come to the Louvre? What was the purpose of her traveling to Paris? How do you think? Speak to your partners, discuss. So this couple, a man and a woman, they have come to Paris to see Mona Lisa, and they found her. A lot of people from Asia, from different parts of the world, come to France, but other group of people may go to Asian countries to enjoy our art. Let's go back to Kazakhstan. Who do these masterpieces belong to? We are going to discuss our national paintings. Who do these paintings belong to? Now let us see if you remember our national painting art. You have some time to work in pairs and decide who these paintings, masterpieces belong to. You may ask your teacher for help. Compare the paintings, speak about the genres. Maybe you remember some information about it. Who do these masterpieces belong to? What is your opinion? Do they belong to different people? Or do they belong to one person? What is your answer to these questions? I hope that you recognized that all of them belong to our famous, very famous artist, Abelkhan Kosteyev, a Kazakhstani painter. He painted in different genres. Usually, when we go to Almaty, we try to visit the State Art Museum after Abelkhan Kosteyev. There are a lot of works which belong to him and to other famous Kazakhstani and foreign painters. If you are in Almaty, please try to go there. When we come back after our visit to the museum, we usually share our impression. How should we describe the painting that we have just seen? So, I would like you in pairs to write a list of tips to describe a painting, any painting. You have only 1 minute to write a list of 7 things that people should remember when they want to describe a painting. Good luck to you. You should work in pairs, my dear students. Dear students, together with your teacher, please form groups of 4 and compare your lists. And now let us see my list of tips. While describing a painting, you need to tell the title first. Please don't forget to mention about the author. It will be interesting to listen about the genre the painting was done. Of course, don't forget to speak about the technique. And don't forget to describe the details. Very often, people pay special attention to colors. It is important. And the last thing should be done by you. Of course, you need to say about your impression. You need to say if you like the picture or painting, and if you don't like, then why. While describing any painting, please don't forget about these tips. So, when you go to an art museum or a gallery, pay attention to these tips while watching the paintings. My dear students, this is your home task. It is based on our lesson, on the last part of our lesson. You need to find a painting and to describe it. When presenting you, don't forget to speak about the title, the author, the genre, the technique. Don't forget to describe it. Don't forget to mention the colors, and don't forget to speak about your impression. This is your home task. If you have been to any famous picture gallery, Please tell your classmates about it. So, what have we done at the lesson today? Can you tell each other, can you remember our steps? I give you very little time to think about it. What have we done at the lesson? So, we started our lesson with answering questions about reasons why people travel. Then, you successfully wrote the definition to the word art. You also have read the text about the Grand Louvre, and you completed successfully some tasks. Then, while watching the video, you answered the question why the man and the woman have come to the Grand Louvre. We enjoyed the atmosphere in the museum, I mean the Grand Louvre Museum in France. Then we came back to Kazakhstan, to the State Art Museum in Almaty after Abulkhan Kostev, and you saw some of his famous paintings. After that, you have written down a list of tips which are necessary for your describing any painting. And the last step you've done at the lesson was your home task. At home, you need to find the painting and to describe it according to the list. Our time is coming to the end, dear students and teachers. If you want to find additional information about this topic, travel and art, you may use these resources. Any other material connected with our online lessons may be found on our site. My dear colleagues and dear students, I would like to thank you for your participation in the lesson. Have a nice day. Goodbye.